Now the Jews' feast of booths was at hand. John chapter 7 verse 2. The feast of booths is also called the Feast of Tabernacles. It occurred 6 months after Passover. To understand the background to this feast, let us read Leviticus chapter 23 verse 2. Speak to the people of Israel and say to them, These are the appointed feasts of the Lord that you shall proclaim as holy convocations. They are my appointed feast. In other words, these feasts were obligations and the people had to keep them. Further, Leviticus 23:34 says, Speak to the people of Israel, saying, On the 15th day of this 7th month, and for 7 days is the feast of booths to the Lord. And Leviticus 23:39 says, On the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the produce of the land, you shall celebrate the feast of the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a solemn rest, and on the 8th day shall be a solemn rest. The feast begins and ends with a solemn rest or a Sabbath. These are bookends of the celebration. In between, two things happened. People actually lived in tents or booths, reminiscing how God led them through the 40 years in the wilderness. And there was thanksgiving by the people for what God had done for them. These were the most important happenings of the Feast of Booths. On the 7th day, the priests would walk around the altar of the temple 7 times, chanting a verse from Psalm 118, verse 25, O Lord, save us, O Lord, grant us success. At this point in the story of Jesus Christ, it was almost time for the feast, and the people were getting ready to head to Jerusalem to celebrate. John included this information to help us understand that Jesus was going to a crowded place. It was at these festivals that people gathered from all over Israel and other parts of the world to Jerusalem. This happened 3 times in a year, and the Feast of Booths was one such gathering. Jerusalem would be crowded. Have a blessed day.